Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. It's Monday, June 26th. I wanted to do a yesterday, today, and tomorrow read. And I was trying to figure out who I was going to do it on. And this week, with the Adam Schiff censorship and everything that's going on with the MAGA faction of the GOP, I think I'm going to do a yesterday, today, and tomorrow reading on Adam Schiff. He seems to have a lot going on, and I'm curious to see what the spiritual meaning is of all this. For those new to this type of reading, what I try to look at are the challenges that somebody faced yesterday, is facing today, and is facing in the future. And with an overarching look at the mission that they're doing. So it's looking at their life challenges and why they're facing those challenges and what the spiritual meaning of those challenges is. Just to get some insight as to what it is they chose to do when they came down to this planet. We come down here to learn a lot of lessons and to look at what is that lesson that this person's trying to learn and how it's manifesting itself and the challenges that we have on it. And it helps us, take a step back from the day-to-day drama that is the human experience and look at the bigger picture. So come on down. Let's see what we got. This is going to be, again, for Adam Schiff and what challenges he's facing in this life, that he chose to face in this lifetime, and how they're currently manifesting themselves. Entertainment purposes only. Okay, so central to this is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is about finding value, finding practicality in things. No matter what's dropped in your lap, how you value it, how you nurture it. So think of him as a very nurturing person. That, that kindly grandparent that has a lot of wisdom and brings a lot of value to that situation. In the past, we're looking at nostalgia, looking at the way things used to be, looking at, passing down values from generation to generation. Let's go ahead and show what those look like. Current situation. Of course, lesson he's dealing with is the Tower, the sudden changes, the destructions of norms and such, and what he'll be looking to deal with in the future is the world. How interesting. Okay, well, things are looking really good for him in the future, as long as he chooses well. And then the overarching message. It looks like it's going to be an Ace of Wands going forward with, let's see, make sure you guys can see this. Taking action. All right. And then underneath it all is the Hanged Man. So nurturing, valuing, finding practicality in things, and looking at things from a different perspective. All right, so that's central to it, is bringing that value, bringing that nurturing, while looking at things from a different perspective. In the past, we have the Six of Cups, and I really do like the Six of Cups. It's a card of nostalgia. On the low energy, it could be naivete, but it's a card of nostalgia. It's a card of the way we used to do things. And, he might have started in politics as a corporate dem or something along those lines. But it was with that tradition of, I'm going to run for political office, and I'm going to do it because I want to make a difference. But what did he come across? He's come across, the lovers, the deals that you have to make, the people that you work with, on both sides of the aisle that feed into those relationships. Now, there might have been a naivete at one point because, when you're working with the lovers, there's a base assumption that you're working on somebody on a very honest level and a very equal level. But if somebody is working with you and they're not sincere, it throws this lover card, and this one came out upside down, but that doesn't really mean anything. These cards are so small, they flip all over the place. But if this person's not being sincere and forthright, they're a very deceptive person, and it really causes a problem with the relationship that you have, because you make commitments going back and forth with the lovers, but if that person's not honoring their commitments, it also means you don't have to honor yours, because the whole point of making the commitment was an understanding of this equality and going back and forth. He's had to show strength and perseverance and mastery in what he's done, because he wants to take care of the people, take care of people, take care of the country. I really do think that he has in his heart, he wants the best for people, and he's willing to build those relationships to do that. And that, again, that's in the past, though. What's he currently dealing with? What he's currently dealing with now is the tower. It's the destruction of norms. Again, he's trying to nurture, and right now, in the past, with that nurturing, he was able to do that. But right now, because of his past, especially with trying to hold Donald Trump accountable, there's fallout from it. And that's what's happening now, is what worked in the past isn't working now, because the dynamic is different. The relationships you had with people in Congress before aren't the same that they are now, and it's causing a destruction. It's causing just basically a downfall in Congress, in the norms of Congress, to the point where he's being censured for doing his job. For working, for going forward with accountability and integrity. He's being pulled down for it. The central underneath it is the Six of Swords. There's a lot of turmoil right now, and his way of dealing with it is to move away from that turmoil. That doesn't mean he's not fighting. He's just not feeding the beast. When MAGA was basically censuring him and saying he's a bad person for investigating Donald Trump, his response wasn't to lash out emotionally. It was just to say, I wear this as a badge of honor. The MAGA faction is really trying to get a rise out of him. They want to get sound bites. They just want to get under his skin. And he's not giving them the satisfaction of it. What's also causing this this sudden turmoil? You've got immature legislatures just hacking away, trying to cause problems however they can. It doesn't matter if they're effectual with it or not. Their interest is breaking down the norms. They're not actually interested in governing. There's also some things, though, there's some backroom dealings that are going on. Even as the tower's being broken down, I think that Adam Schiff still does work with members of the GOP, certainly with the Democrats, but some members of the GOP. He just has to do it behind doors, because there's this whole persona that MAGA has to project, that they can't compromise with the Dems because they've made the Dems the enemy. Therefore, you can't compromise with them. But that's where this Hanged Man card comes in again. In this case, he is making himself the willing sacrifice. Oh, I'm going to be vilified by the MAGA. Fine, I'll take it. It's a badge of honor. So he's willing to take that, to give these guys their little victories, their social media victories that they need. But his ability to look at things differently allows him to work with members across the aisle who aren't in this camp. He's going to be effective in it. I'm still peeved that the Republicans voted, unanimously on party lines to censure him. The conservative, the traditional conservative Republican who doesn't support MAGA, and you hear all these reports that behind the scenes they don't support MAGA, they don't have a god darn spine amongst them, not even to share. The combined of them can't form one full spine to stand up to these guys. That bothers me a lot. Nothing but a bunch of cowards. But behind the scenes, they're okay. No, that's not okay. But he's trying to... The reason why he's not reacting is he's still trying to be able to be effective as a legislator. Okay. In the future, what do we have? We've got the world card. I think his political future goes beyond being a senator. I know that some intuitives have seen him as president, or at least a nominee for president, probably even a higher cabinet post. He's got bigger things coming up in his future, and it's going to impact the world. He will be celebrated for his achievements. He will unite people. He will improve people's lives. He'll bring prosperity to folks. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you are or what country you're in. There's going to be prosperity for this man in the future. And the reason why there's going to be prosperity is that he's not deluded by wealth or power or the promises of these things. The Seven of Cups is not being able to differentiate between what's valuable and what's not valuable. It's a card of integrity. And he's shown time and time again that he has a bunch of integrity. He really is integrity personified. And he doesn't succumb to the delusions that happen to other leaders because he's practical. He doesn't overpromise and underdeliver. He doesn't promise things he can't deliver on, or at least can't reasonably deliver on. I mean, there are times you can't deliver on it because you can't make the deals, or you can't get the people behind you. But he knows, he has a real good feel for what he can deliver on, and when he does deliver, there's a lot of celebration for it. There aren't false promises with this man. Overall, what is he learning? What is he supposed to learn? It's when you have the power, when you have the ability to do something, you pick up the mantle and you do it. You act. Sometimes you have to act quickly and rashly because you've got to strike while the iron's hot. He's a leader. He is an absolute leader, but he's a compassionate leader. He's a compassionate leader to all members of society, from the mighty to the impoverished. He wants fairness. He wants balance. He wants justice. And he has the ability to get it. He's got the emotional and physical tools to do it. He's got the desire to do it. He will do it. Again, and even I want to sort of double back on this one. Even with that world card, he is going to look at things from a different perspective. His leadership will be different than anything we've seen in the past. And that's because he can take up that mantle and he can make things happen. Because he has no problem, I don't want to say ruling, he has no problem governing, no problem leading. He is a born leader, but he's a compassionate one. Okay, so he's going through a lot of crap now. But he's, instead of rising things up or just stirring it up, he's trying to calm it down. He knows that his time is not right now, and it doesn't do any good to fight and give these people resistance because it's exactly what they want. They'll get bored with him and they will move on to the next outrage because that's just who they are. But he's got a much longer game planned, and he will succeed. He absolutely will succeed. So as pissed off as I am with the members of the GOP for not having a collective spine amongst them and going along with this frickin' charade of censorship, in the end of the day, The censorship doesn't mean anything. And I want you to think of it this way. If you were in Germany in the late 30s and the Nazi party denounced you, wouldn't you wear that as a badge of honor, especially knowing how the Nazi party turned out? To have the Nazi party say, you're not a member of the Nazi party, you're as anti-Nazi party as you can get. In retrospect, 2020 vision, hindsight, that's an amazing thing to say. Yeah, I'm all about that. Yeah, I don't want to be associated with fascists. Now, do I? And that's, again, they are, whether they realize it or not, they've just set him up to be that much more of a leader and a person be admired, because they basically said, you're not a fascist like us. We don't like you because you're not a fascist like us. Cool. Dude, where do I sign up? That's why he wears it like a badge of honor. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video. I hope it gave you a little bit of insight as to the challenges that Adam Schiff is facing. And he really does come across as a very nurturing person. He does not come across as partisan, favoritism, or anything along those lines. Just a very calming force. And again, I see him calming force, but he's powerful. He's active. He gets things done. He communicates them well. Our country is going to be so much better as he progresses through his career. Have a great day. Thank you for supporting my channel. I look forward to doing the next videos for you.